Now that we have nested parts across our sheet materials, it's time to set up and configure the toolpathing to be able to get the G code out. On the top of the Toolpath tab, there is a list of operations. Clicking on any one of these operations is automatically going to select all of the shapes that are associated with that operation. So we are going to start at the top of the list and work our way down to the bottom. The process here is a one-time setup for when we need to make a change or want something to be a little different or a new operation appears. For example, we have a notch, hanger notch, that I have not used before. So I'm going to select on that hanger notch, select to add a checkbox. The checkbox is saying I want to include this in the output. I'm going to give it a cut order. I'm going to call that just a G. We'll see why that applies a little bit farther down the list. We would then select any tool diameters, RPMs, feed rates, ramp distances, and tool number that would be associated for that cut. Also going to set the offsets to be the inside. We need the geometry of that bit to be offset to the inside of that particular notch. Setting conventional. Once that is done, we made some changes, so we're going to click Save as Template. That locks those changes in to that particular operation. I'm going to come down to the cut to make sure that everything is set correctly for this one. So again, we have the cut order. This time I did a Z because that is what I want to actually cut last. So it's going to be A through Z. Setting the tool diameters, ramps, and this time that is a perimeter cut. So we have that option set to be the outside. I also have onion skin checked. That means that smaller parts, for example, the two toe kicks or hangers that we have above here, they are going to get cut first with an onion skin. Then it'll come back around, remove that onion skin, move on to the larger pieces. If I have made any changes, clicking Save as Template. Coming down to the next in the list are all of the drilling. And this time I'm going to change the cut order to A. And if you have a drill bank, you would select the drill bank. If not, leave it at drill. Clicking Save as Template, doing the same thing for the 20mm holes. This one we are going to be running a profile cut on the inside using a 3/8 cutter. Again, remember tool number, ramp distance, and enter in any feed rates and plunge rates that need to be associated with this particular operation. Since we did make changes, we will click Save as Template. Now that we've completed that list, all of those changes are there permanently for the next time that we import a job. So example, we could go File, New, and run this import again. And all of those changes have remained. They see the difference, that order here. I forgot to make that change on the 20mm. I'm going to call that cut order B. Clicking Save, and again, go to File, Import, just so we could see how that change reorders the list. So we can see we are going to do 5mm first, 20mm, the hanging notch, and finally the cut out perimeters. So with all of that done, and from now until we need to make a change to any of these operations, all we would have to do after every nest is come down and click Create Toolpaths. You would give it a file name. I'm going to call it Test QQQ. And that is going to give us one G-code file for each nested sheet. Hopefully this helps get you started.